Nickerson.
Fat.
Give him a warm applause.
First off, I have to say I hate every single one of you here, as well as even more hate the presenters. And even more than that, I hate all of the people that are running BruCON, because it has caused me more shit with this presentation because of everybody being so good that I'm like, damn, my presentation's gonna suck. I have to rewrite all of it. So I kind of have. So if it goes all over the place, it's just because I keep rewriting the thing, because I'm like, I can't match the presentations that I've seen. So thank you for having such an amazing event. I just can't say enough. I appreciate it so much. You guys, what do you think? Yes? The crew, they're like all these speakers that are just killing it. That's awesome. I can't even get like my machine to work, more or less, like give presentations. I'm just gonna, here, forget all this clicking. I'll just hang out. Alright, so as part of this problem with continuing to change my presentation, oh wow, this is doing some neat stuff, Ian. Do you have like malware on this? This is like, it's freaking out. I'm going to give a disclaimer first before any of this. I swear too, like Joe, I drink rum and cokes with him. Normally I drink Maker's Mark. So I swear like really aggro American. Because I guess that's what I am. So if you don't like it, leave. Alright. Let's see here. Bam. Will it work? Ta-da! So, I decided I'm going to take a different approach than what was on the program, because I wanted to talk about stealing companies, but since everybody else has been talking about getting into stuff, and a lot of other people have been talking about the method to do things, I want to talk about how to break a company. So I think if we know a little bit more about that, we're going to be a heck of a lot better at it. So I want all of you to kind of throw away your white hat jobs right now. Like, you're just going to have to deal with it. And I want you to only look at this like, I'm going to be malicious, and I want to watch the world burn. So hi, I'm Chris. That's me. My favorite one's the mullet picture. My credentials, kind of why I'm talking to you, what relevance does it have? That's about it. So we'll talk about stuff, right? This is kind of where we're going to go with it. And I put this in there so that my ADD tries not to veer it off. And you'll see in the slides that I just totally screw that up. And it's only like a brief bumper. So no one cares about anything that you find. No one cares at all. Sorry. Am I right? That sucks. We work every single day so that people can go, don't give a shit, go home, thanks for the report, burn, or good job. So why? Why do they not give a shit, right? Well, what the hell? This is what we give them, right? We give them this, we give them this, we show them all these things. We're like, yeah, look at that. I owned all your shit. There's your NetApp. Bam, I got all of this. I got shells. I got hashes. I dumped the files. I decrypted things. I can get everything. I own you. You suck. I'm the man. See? Look, I can cat your shadow file. That's how gangster I am. Yeah. What do you got? And you know what they're thinking? Because we got this huge hard-on. We're like, whoa, look at this. This is what they really feel. They don't care. Like, they don't care about the stupid lives that we lead where we get a huge hard-on because we got shell on something. Because it doesn't matter. And, like, they're right. We're the idiots. I get it. Like, I do it, and people go, you're retarded. And I'm like, but it's shelly. Look at it. Like, look at all the stuff I have. And they're like, you're just boring. Go away. So what do they care about, right? They care about this stuff. Not just themselves or their golf game, I mean, which is usually what it is, but they really care about the business, because that's how they make the money to sit on their yacht and do nothing, or, you know, whatever else. But we have to start understanding that they give a shit about the business, because we can show them all day long these stupid shells and God knows what gobbledygook, and use cool tools and map it out to show, you know, problems, and show how we spidered through their network and we're just evil black hat people. But black hat people don't fucking give you reports and go like, yo, look at Shell, haha, right? They kill shit. They make money off of shit. They don't like just show it off and kind of like do that. So if we're trying to be like the threat, why aren't we making sense? Like, and I think that that's the reason that you see year after year after year after year more people get compromised. Like, I blame you for the world being insecure, not secure. I really do. I blame myself. Like, I'm the same no talent ass clown that can't do it. So like, what do? What do we have to do? We have to like get in their head, right? We have to figure out, how do we communicate to them in a way that's going to matter? Product line. What do you know about, like, you've done tests before, what do you know about that company's product line? Do you research it before the test? If not, why? That's the language you have to speak. That's like, you know, my stupid, ignorant, you know, American ass going to Spain or coming to Brussels and going, language? No, I'm American, I only speak English. Because I'm not paying attention to what's going on, and I need to be able to survive and where I'm going, and we just don't survive as an industry. They're brand. So products kind of is a given, right? All right, well, you're a services company, so you do services stuff, or you're a bank, and I know that you have money. Isn't money important? So as the tester, I'm like, I'll show them how I can get into the systems that have money on it, and then we go, okay, cool, I've got Shell in your AS400, and the guy's like, great, why did you show me the box with DOS in it? And you're like, no, it's not DOS, it's, why don't you get this? And then we're like, we talk to them, like we chastise them like puppies, like, you're an idiot, you don't get this. And then we wonder why, like, they don't fix it. Like, if someone came up to me and were like, you're an idiot, you did this and this, I'd be like, get fucked, I'm out. The employees, contrary to popular belief, they do care about the employees. Why do they care about the employees? Because these are the people that make them money. And they care about money. And they care about the survivability of the business. So we have to care about their employees. Yes, their employees pay into the pen test, or whatever it is that you're testing, or your VCSO engagement, or your compliance, or your hardcore reverse blah, 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 I'm not smart enough to understand what you do. You know? And the bottom line, right? At the end of it, it's all about managing the bottom line of the business. It's all about identifying how the business operates, what they do, how they do it, the way that they execute it, so that they make money, because the people at the top of the food chain are pulling these huge levers, and the machine is walking forward, and the more that they tweak those levers, they're looking at the bottom line as a way to say, is the business healthy or not? Does this make sense, or am I just being stupid? Yeah? Cool? So how do you figure out what's important? Step one, your opinion completely and utterly does not matter. You are not the business. I don't care who you are unless you're one of the executives and you know about how that business really operates. At the end of the day, your opinion, frankly, doesn't matter. So don't be writing that type of shit in your reports. I think you should blah, blah, blah. Really? Do you know how that's going to affect the bottom line, the employees, the brand, the product line? Do you really know? How did you figure that out? Number two, you have to think like them. You really have to put yourself in a way that you can gain an understanding of how they think and operate, so that you can translate your speech of a whole bunch of shells to something that they can understand. Three, completely boring shit. Deal with it, you gotta do work. Yeah, I know. Not go do work and get shells. You have to do work on process. You have to do work on understanding. You have to do work on classification. Like, it's great. I build out some of these models, and I have these pen testers go like, you know, step one, run Nmap. And I'm like, step one, who the fuck are we testing? Step 2, what do they do? Right? Step 3, how do they do it? Step 4, how do they make money? Like, how does this thing exist? And they're like, dude, by then I've already popped boxes, gotten shell, and I'm on to the next test. I'm like, you're a prostitute. Period. You just got paid to go and fuck someone. And you did it and bounced. And like, you didn't even shower afterwards. You're already all up in somebody already. And you're like, damn, the money's still stuck to me. So now we got to do the boring stuff. I'm sorry, but you got to know it before we can really talk about why I want to do things differently. So do you guys agree on these definitions? I mean, there's variants, but can we at least agree on this set for now? That they're close, right? They're going to be different for every organization. You're going to have a million different levels, but this is the stuff. And so when you test, what level are you going after? Hey, one tester in the room. Awesome. All right, you go after secret stuff. You also need to know how much leakage is in those other areas. Because sometimes the public stuff is going to get you the secret stuff. Sometimes the secret stuff is public. And you're like, why do you have this out there? And they're like, oh shit, put it back in. You know, put it behind the firewall. Okay. So, do any of you, I mean, really, honestly, do any of you understand how to anticipate what the business cares about? You have to interact with me, or I will force you. Yeah. Come on. Someone. Yes. Tell me how. Research. Okay. Google. Okay. Dude, I'm sorry I'm outside of the white line. He said, go and ask them what matters. How many pen testers go and ask the company what matters? Except for the like 6 over here. Maybe 1 or 2 over here because I wasn't looking. So that's what matters to them, right? They've at least had the training in their infosec ignorance, right? As we always tell them that they're ignorant and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to use it because we're on a common page in some fashion. But they've been taught CIA, and they understand confidentiality, right? Like, don't let the naughty bits on the outside, keep them under the pants for now until you go home and then have a party, right? The integrity, well, okay, we can kind of maintain our integrity a little bit, but again, for the most part, we have a good understanding of what's going to get us screwed and what's going to keep us in business. Availability, we have to have it out there in order to make money. Pretty easy. So all of that derives something called criticality. Monte, you just get used to it. It's beautiful. So we need to drive criticality before we start testing, okay? And we're just going to establish that criticality has to be present in order for us to do good testing. If you haven't done this, sorry, you're in my category of don't do good testing. How do you do it? Well, you can start getting an identification and understanding, and this is a lot of modeling based off of some of the like information criticality analysis stuff in the IAM and some other just kind of like random we should do this type things. But if you read through some of the IAM material, you'll kind of get a feel for where this goes and how you can have the customer tell you. And the customer doesn't mean, you know, you have to be an external consultant. It could be inside in the business. It can be your boss. It can be the person that's paying you. It can be your wife, you know, whatever. But you can get an idea of the risk factors that they're going to weight against. You can get an idea of the assets that they have. Pretty basic, right? Again, I'm dumb, so I have to keep it simple so that I don't lose myself. And then you start ranking them. And as you start ranking them, right, we can get some understanding of how this weights into the business and why. Make sense? Cool. I got some nods and some people just like, shut up. But oftentimes we're going to be wrong. And when we're wrong, we're going to have to accept the fact that we can change that scale. And you're going to have the fight over like email. confidential, integrity, availability, all 5s. And you're like, dude, you really make money off your email. Well, it's how I get to the things that make me money. Well, all right, just kick it down one step. No, it's the most important thing ever. Okay, so bombs go off, everything's destroyed, and you have a chance to send an email and say, we're fucked, or make money. What do you pick? They're like, make money. All right, cool. Then it's number 2. And they accept that, and they start to accept it once they get in that mindset. But you have to kind of build that to start really qualifying your test. I mean, if you only have a limited amount of time to test something and you can't test it forever like black hats do, you have to test and spend your time effectively. This will manage your time. The shit that's really important, I have to go after hardcore. The stuff that's not important, whatever. If we get in, we don't get in, I kind of don't care. If it allows me to kind of use to materialize access and build access from there, that's good. But I got to have an objective. Wicked boring shit, huh? But you got to do it. Cool? Make sense? Great. Fuck shit up. So you guys have to give me one. I know you don't interact, but whatever. You have to, or I'm just going to sit down and somebody else is going to do it. I want 5 ways to completely and utterly destroy a company. We want to elicit response. Just like you guys, I kind of have to like prod you to respond. We got to learn how to prod executives to respond. So how do we do that? We don't just go, oh, shell. We go, you're screwed, and I'm destroying your entire company. We're taking this bitch out of business. You've been in business for 100 years, and at the end of this test, it's over. Ha ha ha! You want to find a fighter? Gangster, dirty. I'm going to poke you in the eye and throw sand at you and throw you off the side of the cliff and be like, done with that fight. But you got to do it. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is, you know, oftentimes we play this kind of morality role where we're like, well, we have to do things in this particular method and process, and I need you to just throw that shit all the way away for a second and only think about really, really being malicious. I'm not talking about like, ooh, I will release a worm. I'm talking about old school malicious, like, I will burn the building down. Like, I will kill the executives, right? I will go in and arm everybody to the teeth and lace the water supply with acid and let them have just a freaking blowout, right? That company will go away after that incident. I guarantee you. Well, I'm not saying I tried it, but I've thought about it. And here's the proof. So first, we want to attack the brand of the company, right? We want to figure out the name. You know, imagine attacking Coca-Cola's brand name. That's where all their money is. They don't really have anything else. It's their brand. That's why they sell it. What do you need to do that? You got to understand their values. You got to understand their message and how they do things. How do they build that brand? What's their history? Where did they come from? Is this a company that was like, hey, I'm a startup, fucking beep, people put a whole bunch of capital in me, and you know, they paid a whole bunch of people in the media off to say that our company was cool, and then we just inflated to a big company that really, our product sucks, but whatever, we have dope marketing, and now we're number 3 in the industry. All AV companies. But, well, they just don't work. You know, what kind of advantages or disadvantages do they have, right? How do they work with their competitors? Do you guys know how those companies work with their competitors when you do your pen test? You're like, what? Fuck no, that's not a tool. I can't script that shit. I gotta do work. Deet, 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 deet. Own. Report. Game over. Be pissed that they didn't do anything. Intelligence profiles, right? Who keeps the brand? Who builds the brand? Who's like their message? Who's the face person? Right? Like imagine, you know, punching the, you know, for people in the States, punching the Verizon guy in the commercial, or, you know, like people who have these, if you're the same person in all of the commercials for that company, you kind of become the face of that brand, and like executing them on TV. There's a big controversy that starts to happen, right? Figuring out how they went to market and figuring out how you can break them going to market ever again. So we need to figure out all these different types of things, and I'm going to try and not over bullet point stuff, but these are where the bullets have to be, because we're going to put them in the gun and use them and hold them to people's head. right? So how do you do it? Right? Okay, cool, I got shell. Where do I go from here? Well, we want to attack the marketing team. How do we find the marketing team? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone have a Mac?
Facebook.
Facebook? Yeah. Profiling them? Just, you know, setting up rogue Bonjour servers because you know that they all use Mac anyway? It's great. You attack them, you start putting stuff in their marketing communication. Like, imagine companies here, if you were reading their marketing slick, and then there was like a paragraph of nothing but like hate crime, racial slurs. Would you be like, oh, it's a typo, I'll still buy it? No. Of course you're not. So what else are we going to do? We take over some of those indicators, right? As part of the brand and managing your brand, you have to also have kind of your fingers in the water. If I go out and I start a rogue campaign, again, this is a pen test. We're hacking you. We're going offensive on you. We're not just running scripts and shit. But like, if I go really offensive on you and I build a script that makes 500,000 people post varying levels of negative comments, or what I really like doing is finding somebody who really did fuck up and just stealing all of those comments and posting them under the same usernames to the other company. It's great. What happens? Well, there's technical controls that they could have put in place for that. You are now killing their brand. You're taking millions of dollars away from them because you're starting to affect how they operate as a business, and you're not just going after these dumb little, oh, this port's open, you know? You want to pollute it completely and show how it can be done. From the feedback loops that they have to how they do things. I mean, God, we've done really fun ones where you find people who are like influential to that business and try and figure out how they got influential to that business and see if you can mirror some of the things that they're doing and then start directing the brand in like the wrong way. Like, I really need this function. Oh my God, so do I. Oh my God, so do I. Oh my God. And then the vendor's like, yeah, we're going to make a ton of money off this new function. They develop it and just, bye, lost some money. Now number 2 is number 1 and number 1 is number 2. Alter the product. Whoops. We have to know what their products are. You can't just say, I'm going to alter the product because I have shell. How do you know the shell's on the machine that makes the product? You don't. Find it out. So you have to understand not only just where the products are made or what the products are made. And when I say product, it also applies to things like services, right? Like, I'm a service company. My product is the services. And there's lots of ways to attack that. You want to make the things happen that also integrate to their brand and integrate to what they're producing and start destroying it over time. Or you want to destroy it instantly, right? Like, I could alter the product of Coca-Cola and turn it into poison. Bye, Coke. Have fun cleaning that up. It's like a big giant oil spill. They'll throw a whole bunch of money at it and it'll stop and go away, but they will lose a whole lot of money. And it will take a long time to get that back. I mean, look, there was Tylenol. Long time ago, I had a problem with a couple bottles of Tylenol having some poison in them. It affected them like in the billions of dollars overall. Like, show that once, and executives, instead of going, oh, what's the DOS-Bocker, it's like, and they just run. They're like, fuck that, I'm out. I can't deal with this. So how do you do it? Like a software company. Right? And I'm not going to talk about how to do these things. You guys know how to do them. If you don't know how to do them, there's people here way smarter than me to teach you. I just want people to be in this mindset. Right? Any of you ever try and do this on your test instead of just getting shells, showing how I can go to the SVN server? Fuck, I can stand up a fake SVN server so that everything you do from now for the next 6 months goes onto my SVN, and then I shut it down. And what happened? Where's all our development? I don't know. Where'd it go? It looks exactly the same, except none of the shit's there. Why isn't it in our backups? Because it wasn't the right freaking server. Cool. Make backdoors, create bugs, leave yourself stuff, and then blame it on them in the media, right? Like, make a backdoor, and then, like, send out a tweet, be like, yo, I just got this software, and I did some analysis, and that bitch has mad backdoors. Look, connect to this, and then all of a sudden, media frenzy, bye-bye company. Hospitals. I was trying to get your personal data. I was trying to get your credit card number. I was trying to get your bank account information. Fuck that, I'm trying to kill you. I'm trying to kill people in the hospital. I want to hack HVAC systems, and I want to drop heat in the emergency room and watch somebody's chest explode. Yeah. I want to hack morphine machines and have people so cracked up around the thing that they're falling out of the bed and falling over and like mashing shit and give them the wrong drugs and steal drugs from the hospital. I want to bring that thing to its knees. Why? Because that's what they give a shit about. I make people go, it turns into a freaking carnival in the middle of the hospital. Like, people do work to fix that shit. They're not going to go, oh, yep, shell, fuck it. They're not going to go, oh, hey, look, whole bunch of people dying, fuck it. They're going to be like, oh, whoa, whoa, hold on, what? So the hacker got in and killed everybody with morphine overdoses on the network? That guy's a gangster. Like, you are never allowed to come back. I mean, you might consult yourself out of a job, but whatever. You're going to make them change when you're there, and every other consultant from then on, they're going to be like, yo, go easy, okay? And then they're going to be like, you mean run the safe checks in Nessus? Manufacturing companies are awesome, right? Because they're manufacturing companies. They've got all sorts of cool tools that you can bust and destroy and fuck cars up and make them turn into like, you know, hey, I'm building a big giant Mercedes. I mean, a mobile Tyrannosaurus Rex. What the fuck happened? They're like, that sucks. And I think it works. You know? Like, who built this? Or you just changed design specs in the middle of the design process? No one knows until the car comes out? And then when they're doing like QA testing, they're like, turn on, boom! Whoa, we fucked that up. Back to the drawing board. And then you release that one. Like, Mercedes' new engineers created a car that literally is a bomb. Probably not going to go to market. But you can change all these different things in a manufacturer, right? If you speed the line up, that company's going to get choked to death. If you slow the line down, they're going to bleed so much money that they don't know what to do. You only have to change it a fraction, and the company is completely crippled by it. Anybody do this stuff? Huh? Yeah, right? CAD, perfect. Yeah, I mean, don't even screw with the drawings. Backdoor the CAD and make it just go a little off. All of your designs from now until infinity, completely fucked. All the engineers that are good get fired. They bring in new people. They're like, I don't know, what's going on with this? You should kill all their binaries. Attack the employees. What do you need to attack the employees? Well, you need to know who they are. And that doesn't tell you who they are. Either does Nessus or Core or any of those things. You need to know where they live, because it's important, because they give a shit about where they live. And when you know where they live, they're like, bad guy knows where I live, not into it. Right? Like if you're the company leaking their information of where they live, they're going to be like, bad guy knows where I live, wrote up a kidnapping profile, sent it to me, said he was going to kill me, and said he got the info from you. What the hell? So you can start to get ideas when you think this way of how you can start to communicate a new level of threat that they've never been able to experience, and I guarantee you if you communicate threat in this way, action will happen. Because it has to. So do it. I mean, grab somebody, put a gun in their face. You know? Go take manufacturing equipment. Dude, we did a scan on yeah, not gonna say it, on this big car company in the States. And when you scanned their production line, which was on the same network as everything else that you could get into from the outside, if you scanned it, it would turn them on. Why? Fuck, I don't know. So, like, we're there on site, and I'm like, I gotta try it again. And the guy's like, cool. So, like, they cleared everybody out of an area. We scanned these things in a block. A fucking welding arm goes, and like just like went like this across the production line. I was like, oh. Watch this. Wait till they come. I'm like, somebody's sitting there, and I'm waiting for them to walk back. I feel like I'm in the fucking Saw. I'm like, click. Dude's ass gets welded to his head. You know, like, will they fix that? Uh-huh. Never gonna happen again. Did it get fixed that day? Uh-huh. Sure did. You think showing them shell on that machine they would have given a fuck? Nope. So you can also attack them in other ways, right? Companies have these really complex systems for managing their employees and giving their employees these cool things so that when they like rape and kill them on pay and working them too much, they can be like, but you have these great benefits. Like, we give you free psychological help when we fuck your head up. Or when you listen to Dale talk. You know? And you're like, God, I need to go to a therapist. And they get you there. But let's say you start altering those benefits or changing them or leaking money out of them. Or maybe you just straight up tell people, like, here's the only 2 benefits packages that you have, and you get vision, or you get foot massages. And everything else you're on your own. And you just communicate that message out to people, and it's proof, and they just like, oh, fucking foot massage, whatever, I don't care about my teeth. You know? It's cool, I'm British. Alright. So you can attack these people and start to really make this change, because companies want to protect their employees, because their employees make them money. So if you affect the employees, you affect the money. How do you go after the money? Right? You need to know where it is. You need to know exactly how they make it. When you understand how they make it, you can get all these cool new vectors. Oh, I'm doing a PCI test. I'm doing a whatever test. I got to go after their credit cards. All right, cool. Do they have cash? Is it a bank? Break in and steal everything. I can't. It's a big-ass bank. Grab the executive. Put a gun to their head. Go, your turn. Go steal all the shit. I'll be right behind you. Literally. You know? Is there a market for their information? This is what businesses do all the time. Like, why aren't we doing that? There's an entire industry built around competitive corporate intelligence, and we don't use any of their techniques. Fail on us. Like, fail, fail, fail all the way. They have hundreds of years of experience, thousands of years of experience. Do we incorporate any of the shit that they do? Barely. We're like, oh, I did OSINT. Okay, awesome start. Awesome start. How many of you use OSINT model? 3? Right? I mean, we got to start using some of these things. So once we get an idea of what that stuff is, we can figure out what's important and just take it. You want to take the money. I can do injection and I can see your tables. Ineffective. I can do injection, I can see your tables. I made this bank account, I made the transfer effective. Because they're like, yo, CFO, where's our money at? And the guy's like, huh? Yeah, the money. All the shit that we had in the big safe thing. Where'd all that go? Hold on. Let me, here, hold this. You know, and they're out. Does this make sense, or am I just like barking about shit? Kind of? Alright, prove it. What's 5? And this isn't a guess because I have a next slide. Literally, it's your turn to make the world burn. Do it. Is there a microphone that I can like hand to people? You guys? What you pointing at my penis? I mean, oh. Alright, so who's got ideas? Come on. Who's got ideas on how to break shit? Please, all of you were children. Like, all of you have broken shit. It's okay. It's not going to affect your life. I promise you.
Probably the most easiest thing to go after, even though it sounds really funny, is to me reputation of management. You go up to one of the executives, you do a profile on him, and you destroy him. Yes. You find out whatever sexual, whatever searches. Let me just reach his searches in Google,
get
and that
cameras,
would be sufficient. Exactly.
Him in the strip club, send him to his wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, word. No, I'm with that. Like, you know how much you can do? I mean, oh God, I bought the like one of those stupid huge camera rigs, like a D90 or N90, but fuck, I don't know shit about cameras. I was like, make it expensive and take good pictures. You know, and give it to the idiot person who can just go and take a really good picture. And then I went to an optics place, and for about $250 US, got something that's equivalent to about 5,000x. Right? So I could take pictures from a real far way away. And then found a D-shoe so I could attach it, connect it, and just sit there and be like, to all sorts of stuff all day long. You take pictures of executives at their house and put them in a report, and they're like, hey, what is this? Those are my kids on a swing set. Yeah, I get it. Right, because I know where they are, because I can take them. And they're like, pen test? I'm like, attacker? Boo. You want to be safe? Uh-huh. How safe? Only on this. Okay. It's like your hand with like, I just imagine like the status of people when they test and like get defense and offense, like big suits of armor, and then with like the big steel glove on and just ass naked. They're like, look at how protected I am. You're like, you know, whoa, dude, you're doing good. Awesome, 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 awesome way to think. Who else? We didn't cover all of it, did we? Anyone else? How can we break shit? How can we blow shit up? How can we make companies not exist anymore?
Post the pay grade and salary details of all the site employees, and then let the people kill each other.
I'm like, wait, say that again? I'm sorry, I was like in ADD mode.
Paste the pay grade and salary details of all employees, like say on a notice board, and then let them kill each other.
Yes! Yeah, exposing payroll data? Hell yeah! Put that shit on their site and be like, our CEO is a dick. She or he makes X amount of dollars. This is why you pay too much money. Click send to all. I mean, you could really make some bad shit happen with payroll data. And it's not just about anything else. It's about, like, I did this and then I sent it from your IT team or from your executive. I also popped their box and I went, you know what? F this. I'm quitting. Here's everybody's data. Deuces. I mean, that's going to get to the media. They're not going to be able to keep it in-house if you hit everyone in the company and show that that could happen. Awesome way. You had one? Oh, okay.
And just generally spread rumors, and yeah, as I said before, make them kill each other.
Yeah.
Make them hate each other so that they can't work as a team anymore.
Hell yeah! I mean, that's it. You can make that social foundation of that company and the culture turn completely against them. Right? You can completely manipulate and turn the culture against them. So I know I'm kind of close, huh? Or am I? Time? I don't know, I'm just gonna go like this. Whatever. So, what can we take away from thinking like this? Right? How can we use thinking like this to make our game better? And there's a lot of stuff we can do, but I want you guys to have the experience of it. Right? I want you to experience being dirty. Because that's what the bad guys do, and if you think that you're playing like a bad guy, you're not. Like right now, if you're not doing shit like this, you're not very bad. You're like, ooh, look, I'm naughty Santa. You can see my ankles. You know? Like, I want people to think things and talk and discuss and put it in their mind. And literally, you know, I kind of go crazy over this. And I know I'm crazy, but whatever. My wife loves me. But I really want people to kind of throw the, like I have a hat on, like, what the fuck is black hat, blue hat, gray hat, pink, like pimp hat, you know? That's probably the only one you can still put on. You're like, all right, throw all the black, got my pimp hat on, let's go break some companies. But start thinking in this way, because the way that we've been communicating doesn't work. The report that you're writing right now, because you're like, this guy's a retard, is broken. Sorry, somebody had to say it. It's broken. Fix it, or continue doing the same tired shit that doesn't work. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I really invite you for the rest of the time that I have with you to think that way. And so you had one, yeah. Well, I wish I had like a mic on a zip line or something. That'd be a cool thing to put. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just scream if you want. Wait, I gotta hear it loud now because I heard it, but you have to hear it.
No, my question was actually if Chris was involved in any pen tests on oil platforms of BP or something recently.
I'm all like Michelangelo. I'm like Balky with the like creepy mustache. Yeah. Not me, but I've thought about it. Hell yeah, I've thought about it. And it's funny because even in times where I've worked with companies like those that have a lot of that big black gold stuff, they're really, really good with accepting threats like this. Like, they're awesome about it. Like, those guys understand that when I do testing for them, they're like, hell yeah, I want to talk about if you can get arms, and we already assume that you have like a crazy team of people that's willing to just like storm a platform and take it over, or come into our building and profile where our executives are and how our executives are doing stuff and just murder them on site, or like gut them and keep them alive so that you can get intel from us. Like, they do exercises like that all the time. It's really fun too. Like, it's wicked fun to do. But those guys are super good at it. Yeah, it's a really fun industry to work in because they got to that point. Because they have so much money and they're so fucking greedy that they have to keep it. Anyone else have stuff? Watch the world burn?
Last suggestion, as you said, to go to the marketing, but probably the most destructive thing that could be for a company right now is to somebody to hack the mechanism that they have to send all the messages to all the news wires. I don't remember what the name, and that is where the damage is big, because the minute that it goes there, it just spreads like a virus all over the world. And to take it back would
right,
take
like him, the guy, the Stuxnet guy, like. No, I mean, right? Being able, I think it's perfect. What a lot of what I've gotten from watching Ian talk is doing those things and working in a way that has that kind of kinetic impact as well as electronic impact. And the electronic impact is helping with the kinetic impact, and they're a pendulum that works together to set everything in motion. And I think that you can leverage a lot of those electronic platforms. But again, if I hack the Newswire thing, and I don't mock up an email, and I just show them I got root on the Newswire server, or like the lady in marketing who puts the Newswire thing out, and show that I'm in her email, and I see this one, and I delete it, and replace it with another one, and delete it from her queue, and go, hey, send this one out immediately. Here's the credit card number. Unless I do that, they're going to go, why'd you hack Mary's machine? You're a dick. Like, she's really nice. Yeah. Like, what a jerk. But until you actually push the threat all the way out to the end, they're not going to care. But you're right. Hugely effective. Hugely effective. Yeah. Competitive trading is awesome. You can make a ton of money stealing shit and selling it to someone else.
For those that didn't hear, my idea was, why not steal the customer database and sell it to competitors?
Yeah.
One other thing is, why go to all that trouble and just basically take out the database server physically, and while you're at it, destroy their capability of restoring their backups?
Yep. Switchblade in a cart, right? Take the cool servers, put them on the cart, take a switchblade, walk up the rack, go, you know? And you're good. It takes like a couple minutes to execute the whole job, from walking in the building with all these things that you guys have been learning. Like, you're armed to actually create these scenarios, right? You could figure out everything that you need to do to compromise, build all your stuff, make cool badges, do the RFID hacking, have all that shit, walk in, slice the rack to hell, like have a machete and just go like crazy Rambo style, you know, and like take all your aggression out on the damn thing and steal a whole bunch of cool servers and bounce, and they'll be like, our IDS did not detect that someone went apeshit in the data center. Fuck. You know? They'll help you. They'll be like, yo, I think that's the guy that was going batshit in the data center. They're like, yo, what happened? I don't know, executive sent me fucking Sally's pay grade and I freaked out. I'm taking this shit to compensate for it. They're like, really? Yeah, dude, here. And they're all, cool. Let's do it.
You could also try disabling the comms and hold them for ransom until they actually pay the money or do something. Then you can release the emails.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, data hostage and people hostage, super effective. Right? I can take all of this over and keep it for me, and this is what's going to happen. Does your incident response plan that your auditor made you make have any of this shit in it? No. They don't have the Chris Nickerson to go batshit your data center and fucking rip up all your cables and fucking give shit to other people plan? No. We only have shit like, if it goes down, we move it to here. If that goes down, we move this to here and this to the cloud. Yeah.
For the next conference, we make site-to-site VPNs in all the companies and have some fun.
Yeah. Let's do it. Break shit. I'm with it. I mean, whatever we're doing now sucks and doesn't work, so we may as well try for something new. Hold on one second so people online can hear it, man.
It's not in the same league, but it goes just how much a little thing can do. You go, there's a big supermarket brand, and when you buy, they put some text on the supermarket, like, happy to serve you and stuff like this. And one day, just a guy was working there, a job student, he managed to put "you're all a bunch of assholes" on it. They fixed that one really quickly.
Yeah! That's awesome! Like, no, it's such an awesome example. Like, think of how much chaos you can create if you, like, hack an electronic billboard and it just says stop. Everything's fucked.
I have a real world example for you. It's something that actually happens from the pay TV world, where one big pay TV company actually gave hackers access to the tools to hack the chip cards for the pay TV, and thus directly attacking the business model of the competitors.
Nice.
And the competitors went bankrupt, and Murdoch bought them.
It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome, right? Yeah. I mean, God, the like luxury goods world, and like the ones that really have this super high profitability by being number one, the black gold people, they're really critical about that, right? Like, they have teams. Yeah, whatever. We don't have teams. We don't do shit that's bad. Yeah, they do. I know some of the people. I don't care. But they do it. They go and they attack. Their job all day long is to just completely attack and own shit in the other companies. So they can go, someday, you guys are going to fuck up and we're going to cut your legs off. And it's going to take one shot. When we go, we want to be number one today. Click, you're off. But since they have that, and the other companies know that, they're like, we need to get hacking teams. And we need to completely fuck up the other company. And they're like, yeah, we won't ever do that. Never. Totally moral and ethic. Shh, go get shit. You know? And that's what they do. And then they're like, no, it never wasn't me. It was these random people in Russia or China or wherever. They're like, those are the jerks. We're like, yeah, I know. Here's your flight records flying to China, and here's pictures of you paying them for shit. And they're all like, whatever, I love dim sum. You know, like, what? I love executive excuses. That's awesome. Alright, well, I'm going to let you guys relax and enjoy breaking shit in your head, and hopefully you continue with it. So the last thing I can say is, if you take anything from this, the reason I put it in this way is just to try and say that we're not communicating effectively. We're not communicating risk. We're not communicating gravity. We're not communicating criticality. We're not communicating business function and term well, and we suck at it, and we either need to get our game up or get out of the game, because we are the ones that are ruining the world. Sorry, we just are. We continue to feed them all of this stuff. They pay us a whole bunch of money. They get back some random generic shit that they're not going to fix, and it's on us to fix it, right? Because we can see that the problem exists. All of us know that I always hand people stuff. I rarely ever get it fixed. It's because of how we're communicating it. It's not because our customers are idiots. They're super intelligent. They have giant companies. They're way better than us at the business thing. That's why they're the ones who own this big giant-ass business, and we're testers. We have to use some of the skills that we have to our advantage to analyze where the gaps are and start filling and addressing those gaps. So, thank you.